And many people out there, and I'm sure, you got some listeners now that are like, well, shoot, I can do all that by myself. I could tell myself this, that, this, which is very true. I mean, I totally, and if there is anything that I can say, I totally believe you. That's why I think a lot of, and I'm going to say this, I think a lot of people pay for things that they don't need. Okay. And why I think I'm different and well, what I bring to this really, to this stage of my career is the mathematics. And I think that many people, and again, if you go online and you look up who an actuary is or what an actuary does,
Mhm.
you can really see that it's totally different than a lot of other people. I mean, it's really compared to, we're really analyzing risk and using math to really solve problems and create probabilities and understand what can happen. So it's a lot different than saying, hey, here's a stock and this and there's a bond and you know what I mean. So it's just totally different. And that's why I thought about this the other day, and it's funny, Jim, I get to bring it up on the show to make it easier for the listeners and for the viewers out there. I think this is, if anybody's asking how someone can be different and how you can, and how anybody in the, in the industry of retirement or in the financial industry can change or can make a difference, it's creating math problems. And I know it sounds crazy, but if you treat every single situation, right, and every client and every question that you have, retirement goal, retirement needs, what age, what lifetime gap, how much they need. If you put all that into an equation and you basically create the math problem in your mind for the client, and then find the solution for the client, and you see eyebrows go up, you see, and I ask myself this, and I have a lot of colleagues too that say, "How do you do it? Like how do you come up with the answers so fast? What are these solutions that you just spit out there after 5 seconds of hearing the client?" And I never knew how to answer it because I always just thought of my mind, right? It was
Your
just what
mathematical mind, right, right.
it,
Mhm.
but to be honest with you, what I do is I take the situation and I create a mathematical problem, and I find the solution, right? That independent variable that plugs into the problem and creates a full solution. And I think what happens is a lot of the times we're so focused on creating what? The problem
Mhm.
that we're not creating the solution. That we're not finding the solution. So that's what I think. If there's anything you could take from this episode today, or anything to where you're thinking, hey, should I meet David or should I step in there? I'm a mathematical guy. Okay. So the first thing we do is we go over numbers. And I'm talking about every single number that we talk about is on my spreadsheet, is on my whiteboard with you, and we go over them side by side. And what we're doing is we're literally solving a problem for you.
Mhm.
And if we can't solve it, we can't solve it. Now, 99% of the times, obviously, there's just some sort of solution out there. Is it the best solution? I can't always say it is, right? Or is it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, there's always a solution, some way to help the problem or to solve a part of the problem, right? But like I said, I think advisors are too focused on what the problems are. Oh, how much can I make a client each year, or how much can they take out, or it it all should revolve around each other. Then you should find a full solution plan that benefits all of it and literally coincides. It should be like fingers going like this and creating no gaps at all.
Sure.
And I think that so many people are starting just trying to fill in one hole at a time. And what happens is all those holes, all those gaps in retirement affect each other. We just talked about it. Your lifestyle is going to affect what your future income is.
Mhm.
Okay. And if you're listening out there, don't get hurt about this, but I'm telling you, there's a large percentage of people out there that don't have the correct plan that think that they do.
Mhm.
Okay. And to be honest with you, there's not a lot that I can say, and I'm gonna be very, very transparent here. There's not a lot I can say that I can take up for those advisors because that's not the goal, right?
Right.
For people out there, and for the listeners that that are trying to find more out about, hey, look, how do I set up the solution and problem? I don't want to say it's easy, because obviously it's easy for me because I'm in this business and I love doing it, right? And I have a mathematical mind, but it's my job as an advisor to advise you, okay, on the solution and make sure you understand how your problem fits the solution.
Yeah.
It's not your job to understand that without me showing you how your solution solves the problem. Okay. What's happening is advisors out there are taking parts of the problem, or not even taking the problem, right? Taking the problems from other people. And they're standardizing. I mean, I just heard the other day, well, I'm putting the same scenario that people in my asset class are. I'm like, so your health's the same? So your hereditary stuff is the same.
Their foundation is completely different.
Yeah. So your assets, your houses are worth the same price on the same street, right? It's like, no, you can't do that. And people want, and again, this comes back to the brainwashing. It comes back to making it easier on advisors to confuse you so you don't have to know, right? Again, it comes back to it's my job, and especially as a fiduciary, it's my job to look in the best interest of my client at all times. It's not about me. Okay. Sadly, I think a lot of the times we look around in the corporations and what we've been in, it's starting to say, hey, okay, well, we've had this for this long. It must work now. It's not like that anymore. You can't do that. That's why half the people's retirement plans fail, right? Because they have to go back to work, or they have to keep working. Why do you think people are still working at 67 years old, Jim? I mean, it just proves it right there. This plan that everyone made 40 years ago didn't work. So why
and the number of people, I think, in their 60s and 65 and above, I don't have the exact number in front of me, David, but you meet with these people, the number of people still working into their 60s and 65 and above, it has to be kind of an astounding type number when you look at it.
Well, and that's true, but on the other side of things, right, they don't have to be.
Right.
And we talked about this, on another show. Don't let that system ride on when you get to retire. Come meet me, sit down with me, go over a plan. And if it fits your needs and plan, great. We made it. We created a solution. But don't just pass it away. Don't just not look at it. Don't just say, hey, well, I'll be okay. And that's just not, if you bite the bullet now, I promise you're going to live an amazing retirement on the way that you could feel confident. Right. But if you're even a little bit out of the loop and you don't even know why the heck you're in what you're in, or you don't even know what you're in, or you think you know what you're in, but you have a little bit of questions about it, please come meet me. The least we can do is sit down and go over your stuff, really to see we'll look at your statements and see, hey, look, you might be all good. But, I think what I love doing is I love sitting down and understanding someone's passions and someone's goals and saying, hey, look, okay, well, if they're met, they're met. Yeah. Right. If you're getting income to go on your fishing trips every year and you're retired, hey, awesome. We have nothing really. I mean, unless we figure out something else that you kind of want to take care of. A lot of the times it's not that simple. And things aren't, and things aren't factored like that. But again, give me a call. We can sit down. It's really easy. I mean, honestly, we can create an appointment. We're downtown Pensacola. We're right here. You guys can come downtown. We'll meet in the conference room, and at least I can see if I can help you out. And maybe create that math plan for you to understand and be confident in your retirement, whether you're retiring now or you're retiring later. I love what I do, and I can't wait to meet you guys. Just give us a call, 850-565-1705. Again, that's 850-565-1705.
And if you like that video, be sure to click the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell for weekly content just like this. And for more, click the video on your screen.